So one thing, Ken, I'd like to know where we are with the energy management system. I know we were working on that a couple years ago. We were going to try to get it implemented. So exactly where are we?
So I'm very happy to actually show you. We've got a finished and functional energy management system, and I'm going to give you an example of some snapshots of the actual views that we can see on what we call our front end, which is how we control our energy management system. The purpose of our energy management system is to be able to observe and control and program various devices such as HVAC systems that help support our actual programs. So when we log into our energy management system, the first thing we see is an overview of the actual city of Beverly Hills with our school sites posted and marked within the various areas to show the proximity of the schools. And then from there, if we look at one of our other screens, from that screen you can actually log into any one of our schools. So if I click on the icon that shows the high school, it gives us an actual graphic of the high school with all of our different buildings on it. And then it lets us go into various levels of detail. If we go into another area, this is actually a graphic, one of our chiller plants at the high school. It shows all three of our chillers. It's got the different postings with the various temperatures and settings that each chiller is set to in order to support our programs. And it also will show alarms if anything is not functional, such as a motor or a pump. The various color coding shows the temperature of the water flow and the direction of the water flow through the various piping. And then we can click on various details. So if we want to look at an example of our chiller plant and we want to say, let's look at an individual chiller and check out the functionality of that. Let's just say there's an alarm on one of these chillers. We can go to that next level of detail, which actually shows the chillers and the motors and the pumps, and will identify there's sensors on every different functional part of that device. Okay. And you can go into further detail too. You can actually see how many things are running, what speed they're running at. You can make adjustments to the energy management system. And we can even get into further detail if we want to look at, let's say, a classroom where we might get a service call to say, hey, the air conditioner is not working. So the first thing we do in lieu of just going out to the school and looking at it, because there's so many miles of piping and wiring and devices that could have a malfunction, is we'll log on to the energy management system and look at that specific area in order to determine what, if anything, is actually deficient. And that helps us give us a hint on what to look for when we go out to the site. It saves a lot of time and gives us a much better operational efficiency.
So in our strategic plan, we had a goal of actually completing B1, B2. And we're happy to report that we had a successful completion and an opening of B1, B2. And from your perspective, tell me a little bit about that building and what impact that's having on the students.
So I think the primary impact to start with is the fact that we have all new spaces, which just creates that fresh, bright, modern feeling that one would want to have in an educational facility. It's also provided tremendous flexibility for our staff in order to create custom spaces in their teaching environments. So where we have, sometimes some of our classrooms, we have movable walls, which can open up and become common spaces. In the individual classrooms, even though they're similarly shaped, each teacher has the opportunity to set their rooms up and configure them in a way that suits not only the curriculum that the students are being taught, but the personality and the tactics and techniques that the teachers want to employ. We have some very special common spaces, like our media center. Our admin spaces are state-of-the-art, right into our admin area to our where students are received, our nursing facility, our quad area. The building is just beautiful and functional in so many different ways.
So that's great input from both the students and from the teachers, because I know the staff really love that space also. One of the other things that we want to always focus on when we look at construction and look at our sites is safety. I'm not sure if you've been involved in a lot of the oil well issues, but just to report out, the district working with our vendors and contractors has successfully capped all of the modern 19 Vinaco oil wells. That's been quite a long process. And we've also capped 2 ancient wells, and we're in the process of examining 3 remaining legacy or ancient wells, which are completely safe. They were actually capped earlier in the late 70s, and we're looking at the possibility of recapping them up to current standards in the near future. So we're very excited that those Vinaco wells have been capped. that the site is completely safe for our students and our community. And as we move forward, we'll continue with B3, D4, and other projects on the campus of Beverly Hills.
So Wade, thank you so much for the update on our construction and oil well progress. I'd like to mention, for more information, if the community is interested, they can always go to our website at bhusd.org/construction/.
Well, thank you, Ken. And in the website, there are photos, there's documentary, there's links to photos and construction progress reports that has been available since the start of the construction program. So that's all available. So in conclusion, Ken, before we wrap up our discussion on the strategic plan, I just want to mention El Rodeo. We get a lot of questions about that construction project. Just want to assure everyone it's on track for an opening probably in the 24 school year. So excited. It'll be our most updated facility. Those students that get a chance to matriculate through that campus are just going to be so lucky to have such a beautiful campus with great teachers and a great program. And before we wrap it up, I just want to say a thank you to the business services team, the maintenance and operations team, and the construction and facilities team for doing such a great job this year to meet the goals set in our strategic plan.